What is the well-pleaded complaint rule? Have you ever wondered how federal courts decide if they can hear a case? One key concept that plays a big role in this is the well-pleaded complaint rule. This rule is essential for understanding federal jurisdiction, especially in law school. So, let's break it down. The well-pleaded complaint rule is a principle in civil procedure. It helps determine when a federal court can exercise federal question jurisdiction. Federal question jurisdiction allows a plaintiff to bring a lawsuit in federal court if the case involves a question under federal law. This could be related to the Constitution, federal statutes, or treaties. Under this rule, the plaintiff's initial complaint must clearly present a federal issue right on its face. This means that the complaint itself must show that the plaintiff's cause of action is based on a violation of federal law or the Constitution. The federal question must be part of the plaintiff's claim as stated in the complaint. It cannot be something that comes up only as a defense or in anticipation of a defense by the defendant. The U.S. Supreme Court established this rule in the case of Louisville and Nashville Railroad Company versus Mottley. This case is often referred to as the Mottley Rule. The court decided that federal jurisdiction cannot be based on a federal issue that only appears in the defendant's anticipated defense. Instead, the federal issue must be presented in the plaintiff's well-pleaded complaint. In practical terms, if a plaintiff's complaint relies solely on state law claims, federal courts generally cannot hear the case, even if there might be a federal defense. The complaint must directly allege a federal cause of action or a claim that depends on a substantial question of federal law. There is also a related test called the Grable test. This test helps courts determine if a state law claim that involves a federal issue can qualify for federal question jurisdiction. However, the well-pleaded complaint rule remains the starting point for assessing federal jurisdiction. From a law school perspective, grasping the well-pleaded complaint rule is vital when studying federal jurisdiction. It sets clear limits on when federal courts can hear cases based on federal questions. It highlights the importance of how a complaint is drafted. Federal jurisdiction is not triggered by every case that might involve a federal issue. It only applies when the plaintiff's own claim asserts that federal issue. In essence, the well-pleaded complaint rule requires that the federal question must appear on the face of the plaintiff's properly pleaded complaint for federal question jurisdiction to exist. This ensures that federal courts only hear cases that genuinely arise under federal law as claimed by the plaintiff.